Well, I'm Kimberly Badenhausen. I'm with the Marlboro Managing for Sustainability MBA class, and we're graduating in December. This is my Capstone project. It's based on traditional models of governance, and nonprofits are not sustainable. So what I'm doing is suggesting that if you operate using dynamic governance, then you're able to create an open system in the organization which allows it to create energy and become sustainable. During our corporate forums class, which is the third in the finance classes, I was introduced to a book called We the People, which is written by John Buck and Sharon Valines, and it's writing about the methodology of sociocracy. And I read the book in 2 days. It totally captured everything that I've been trying to do in redesigning corporate models, charter models, and nonprofit governance structures. So as soon as I read it, I knew this was what I wanted to do for my capstone. Current corporate models or governance models don't incorporate voices from all of the stakeholders. In financial corporations, fiduciary responsibility is the most important thing. It's not about the stakeholders. And in nonprofits, it's about the purpose of the organization. It's not necessarily about the stakeholders. What sociocracy does is it brings the stakeholders in and makes them an important part of the organization. And by doing that, you're creating voice in the organization that generates energy and helps it to become sustainable. Well, it's actually been implemented in a number of places. There's more than 50 chapters of the U.S. Green Building Council have been trained in sociocracy, and there are both for-profit and non-profit organizations that are using it. In Living Well, which is an assisted living place in Vermont, they've been using it to create a new model of caring for the elderly, and they've brought in programs and they've implemented sociocracy so that the elders are also involved in the structure, in the governance of the organization. They've used it to lower medication levels. They've created a drumming circle and a band that is the most vibrant part of the community. All the members, all the stakeholders in the nonprofit are involved in creating the organization. Well, sustainability, there's a different definition for every person because it's what's really sustainable for you or for your organization. And what sustainability means to me is that your organization has a purpose, it has a life cycle. And when it's done with the life cycle, it's either going to disappear and all of the effort that you've been working towards is going to go away, or in some way it's going to transition to a new organization or to nourish additional organizations. So what will happen, we hope, with my sponsoring organization, Global Awareness Local Action, is that we're going to revitalize a community. We're going to revitalize a Grange Hall as the host of that community, as the home of that community. And then when Gala has created this community, we're going to go out and we're going to spread that template all over the world. And so the life cycle of Gala will be, the 5 stages of a nonprofit. But when Gala's achieved what it needs to achieve in the local Water Village community, then it's going to create sustainability in the rest of the world by bringing influence and nourishing other organizations.
Okay, so my name is Josh Arnold. I'm founding director of Global Awareness Local Action. It's a nonprofit based in Ossipee, New Hampshire. We serve the greater Carroll County Lakes region, building sustainable community. Kimbria and I were introduced, and we got together, and she had this thing called dynamic self-governance, sociocracy, and I always say it was synchronicity at its best, because it was really a time where we had all these different sort of stakeholders and volunteers and programs and projects in the Grange, but we didn't have any sort of glue or a structure, a process to synchronize those and make them work together in achieving a common goal. So we decided that this would be a good opportunity to try out this dynamic self-governance, which was really a way of organizing that fosters leadership within the organization and a sort of consistency of just being on the same page, increases efficiency within the organization. And it also happened at a good time because we had just received a grant for strategic planning. And so again, these things happen at a really great time, and and I'm really excited and grateful that it'll happen. I think it's going to help us move forward in a really exciting way. We really want to demonstrate a solid, sustainable model of community building and sustainability. But more importantly, I think, is to make this a model, a scalable model, and a replicable model for other communities to take on and utilize and sort of cultivate this culture of sustainability in other communities. So the dynamic self-governance is a really important piece to that, because it's kind of the container that helps cultivate this, or makes it easier for other communities to take something like this on. So they're not starting reinventing the wheel kind of thing. So we really want, one of our ultimate goals is to create a model for other communities to adopt. So this will be a key to making that possible.